Hello, I'm David. Here's a third attempt at making a video. Um, this game is very uh, processor intensive. I can show um, the nuts and bolts of that stuff over here. Uh, the memory crashed, and the screen was like, uh, I don't know. Oh wow, startup. That's funny. Um, the screen was having ghost presses. That's the reason that this is my second Microsoft Surface tablet. Um, in the background, I tried to. I found this game on PlayStation 2, and then when I opened up the case, it was a Matrix DVD, and the DVD was so scratched that it doesn't even work. I don't know if GameStop and stuff like that still fixes stuff. So that's just a map of Los Angeles. I'm going to try to use this game called A-Train to recreate something that I argue that this A-Train game from 2012, it was copywritten or whatever in 2012, and that's just in between when GTA 4 and 5 were released. GTA 4 was 2008, and GTA 5 was 2013. And I argue that this A-Train game has the core engine of both of those. People online have agreed that it's the Apple iPhone 1 and its first game called Backbreaker, a football game. And so if I search Backbreaker and GTA 4, I should find people arguing about that online. Um, so apparently it's this Euphoria thing. I might just be mistaken, and this Natural Motion company that created this Euphoria software is going to be the same core engine that runs underneath, the same way that the task manager sort of does everything in the background, sort of runs underneath what's going on the Surface. And that's funny that this device is called the Microsoft Surface. Here's some random notes that I wrote and then just in the raw form put out in April. And I wanted to try to go over these. So here's one of my all-time most heard songs. I mean, myself, I've heard that. What I noticed in the lyrics was "Start Me Up," exactly as it is. The three words "Start Me Up." That is a Rolling Stones song over here. So if I search "Start Me Up," it's going to pull up the Rolling Stones over here from 1981. I would have thought that that was a lot older, like 1960s. So that's the first thing about these notes. What I noticed when I was sort of listening to this song for one of the last times, I haven't listened to it since then, I sort of was listening to it and I was trying to recreate what people don't understand about hand signals. There's something called hand signals in choir. So for every music note, it corresponds to a hand signal, like do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. I don't know if that's visible in the camera. Check. It is, okay. And so, I sort of was like seeing like a hidden dance that's built into this song. And so she sort of mumbles something in this song that I never knew what it meant until I looked it up like maybe a couple of months ago. She says, "If you know what I mean." And I don't know what she means because I never... all this time I thought it was lean, but it's lead. Okay. Get, get you where you want to go if you know what I mean. So the way that she says it is sort of like, get you where you want to go if you know what I mean. So I'm just sort of thinking, when I wrote these notes, instead of that like that, it's sort of like don't mind me if you know what I mean, and then miming with these hand signs. The objects in mirror are closer than they appear, if you know what I mean. That's just sort of a way that I took that raw form of the song and made it into something new. And it reminds me of this movie. At least the movie poster. I've never seen the movie. Megamind. It's hard to put these raw notes into something. Okay, so this is sort of notes to myself. For some reason, I've always posted them online. I never learned to take notes. I never had like a journal or anything. I had a Facebook after I was already accepted into college and everything. So I wrote see hand signal number 2 plus 5 on this Music Insider chart. So I called it the Music Insider chart. What one is it though? Number 2 plus 5? Oh, right. So number 2 plus 5 is Ray, like Rihanna. Or Re, like Rihanna. But it's pronounced Ray. So 2 plus 5 is soul. And so the way that soul, S-O-L, is pronounced is so. Like it's pronounced so, and that's pronounced Ray. Even though it looks like it's spelled Re, like Rihanna. Or soul, like, the word soul. So if you combine, the spelling of Ray and soul, over here, I remember now. Am I pressing the wrong button? So if I combine Ray plus soul, and I spell it backwards, letter for letter, first is Los, like Los Santos in GTA 5, right here. I was going to have a map of that, I couldn't find it, so I put up the map from the user manual of Streets of LA. So Los, like Los Santos, or Lo like Lost, one of the gangs from GTA 4. So that plus ER for Ray. So written, some languages are written right to left, like Latin, Hebrew, and I just recently learned that also Arabic, I think. All of those things are written right to left. So it's sort of like being a sore loser over here. Another combination of so and Ray would just be sore and loser. And it even has a music tone. This is part of cryptology. It's a real thing. I'm not just making it up. Cryptology is a real thing. So it'd be like, so you say like Ray and so, but saying it backwards would be like loser, like that. And so there's sort of a dance, just using hands, sort of like a mime would do, or like a mime or whatever. Definitely check out Snoop Dogg's newest song called, it sounds like there's people in the background. Did my camera break down? Or my keyboard break down? That was happening at the start of the video. I'm going to re-input the battery. Let's see if that fixes it. Yeah, it works. Okay. Snoop Dogg's new song, Bass. It sounds like they're saying in the background, throwing up hand signals, career, or something like that. Just for new. So that is the video that I was reminded of. It's a European guy who has a YouTube vlog. I left a comment on his community tab. Yeah, it's just called hand signals or gang signs. So, oh, and his name was David too. So, if I go to his video here, no thanks, and I click on his tab, and I click on the community tab, and from 6 days ago, I should see one of my own comments. Yeah, right here. That's not code or anything, but in his video, they were talking about Bootsy Collins, who is considered one of the founding fathers of bass guitar, seen here on Wikipedia. And I could probably update that because it doesn't really make sense. At Dave, added to watch later. To David from David in America, with high regards, and whatever. Okay, so that and that's of course all about musica.com/virtualbass. I use that website so much I don't even I have it memorized. I have the thing memorized. So you know what? I looked at that Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, and that is I don't know if that's going to be. I'm gonna have to check the sound levels on the video that's being recorded. Hello? Desktop audio doesn't turn it up all the way. There it goes. Okay. So just from looking at it earlier, let me see if I can pull up the piano. So first I'll learn it on piano. Just from watching the simple version on YouTube, it goes. Okay, so that's going to be G, 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 D sharp. I don't know why it says E flat. It says D sharp and E flat. I don't know. So it goes G, 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 D sharp, F, 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 D. Okay? And so if I go back to the virtual bass and highlight, I guess C or... okay, so C to G. This is going to be G right here. Both here and here is going to be the same note. Let me see if I can figure it out on the keyboard without having to click. Okay, so that's why. I don't know how I got that on the first guess. So it goes G, 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 E sharp. E sharp is going to be... So if that's E, shouldn't... Instead of F, shouldn't that be E sharp? I can't hear it at all over here. D, E, flat, E. There's no E sharp. There's something wrong with that. That's right. E flat. Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. I typed that in to my phone and it said beehive. That's what it thought I said. And I said, no, I really was trying to type Beethoven. So anyways, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony was made hot or popular again in the 70s disco era with Saturday Night Fever, and then again in the early 2000s with the movie Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell. Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. But what I noticed just a few days ago around Mother's Day was that not only is it in a fifth of Beethoven, the song I was just talking about, so I'll search Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. Fifth of Beethoven here. It's not just in Saturday Night Fever pictured there. And who did a Fifth of Beethoven? What is it in? Why is it so hot? That's a question that I'm wondering too. It's in the public domain. Wow. Okay. But then ultimately, what no one that I've seen has caught this one online. I'm the first, as far as I know. Is the Big Timers featuring. It's either, I think it's Hot Boys featuring Big Timers, and that's the band, the American band. I'll put American band. And then the song is called I Need a Hot Girl. And the reason that I was looking into that song is because when I was reading the lyrics, where it says HG, right here, that harkens back to some stuff that I studied when I dropped out of college to study something called self-development, or self-help for short, the pickup artist branch for that. I said in a recent video that I joined for the pickup lines, and what's funny is now if you search pickup artistry, what we used to call it, PUA, now it shows up the unemployment, pandemic unemployment assistance. That's really funny that our entire culture was covered up that way. I think it's funny, personally. Anyway, so we have something called HB10, and it's just like HG from the song, Hot Girl. And so if I search HB10, it'll show, that won't even show the same thing. That pulls up something. If I put PUA and HB10, there we go. So AFC, HB10, we have these acronyms and our own way of talking. That's sort of, I wanted to delete all this stuff. But, anyways, I was listening to the instrumental of this, and I realized that it's the instrumental version of this. So here's some other songs that Big Timers are going to be known for. Here's another song of that era. A lot of people would recognize those songs. If not the title, then the instrumental at least. So that has in it the and I did that all from just looking at it on the easy version playthrough. Okay, so I'm going to delete all that, and I can't remember what I was going to mention about that. How did I get here is right. So let's see what's in the lyrics of this song. So it's clearly about a car. And what really ties all these, the first song is going to be Shut Up and Drive, Rihanna, the song. The second song that it refers to in its lyrics, I'll just show it again, is Start Me Up, the Rolling Stones song. And the third song is going to be, I had to find this song that it's linked to, is this one, and I found that song via searching. Let's see what that one is too. So I don't want to hear either one of these, just because. So here's this song called "Write 'Em Down." Oh, write 'em down like notes. That's funny. So the theme of this video is going to be driving in a car. A lot of my videos from last year on. Is this channel still up? Is it findable? I think it's called Cheetah's Tough. And especially if I add GTA into it, I should be able to find it. A lot of my stuff. So how would I search YouTube with a Google search or anything else? I would search what is it? I think it's that button and then youtube.com. And so I'll search the site itself. It's sort of like giving commands to Google like that. Yeah, that's it. I know all those keywords. Those are all mine stuff. So this stuff, I get that from this music video that I saw from December 2016. 2.31 million subscribers. So this song right here, because it has a car in it, and I found it. I have to find it in my head or whatever, searching Twilight Girl. I don't know her name. I think it starts with the K. It's Kristen. And Kristen, that's what it says right there, Kristen Stewart. I can't easily remember. In my mind, I thought it was like from Transformers, or I don't know. That's how it is with celebrities and stuff. Like, same with Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. It's hard to remember what one is what. So this channel here, 89 videos, 35 views. They're most likely all mine. Here was the women of GTA, Mercedes or Catalina, if they went to, or Maria, if they went to Los Santos. All three of those ladies are different characters in the GTA series. Some of the only ones. So if I search GTA plus any one of these, it'll show, and that's like the Saturday Night Live sketch of Wario from just whatever recently, last week. It shows they use evidence in this video of, I guess I'll go ahead and jump into it. They show wiki fan page or whatever in this video right here. That's his Wario wiki. That's not even a real site. And he gets mad because everyone says he's lazy and all this stuff. So that's sort of the way that a similar way to how I use these GTA wiki fan pages and stuff. No, not the benefactor. Mercedes is a character. No, not what car. Mercedes Cortez is a character from Vice City. Here she is, and I think they call her that because of, there's also Catalina and Maria. Those are also main characters. If not main, close to main. Mercedes, the song, Janis Joplin. I was checking back into this song recently on this YouTube. I had heard it, but I hadn't seen this slideshow of images. I'm wondering, to be quite honest, who is that? Who's her friend there? Who is that? I've never seen who that is. I don't know who that is. Is she also in that? Because that's not Janis Joplin, as far as I know. That's Janis Joplin. Here's one I was just watching today, Thomas Edison. Okay, so here's how I got here. Here's lots of hours of videos, and that's all going to be. I guess I even added some other videos. Maybe I should probably take those down. Those videos are related, even like Tamagotchi. That is actually about Catalina. She's in GTA 3 and San Andreas. She is the girlfriend right here mentioned in that newspaper. So I've added some things. This WTF, A Tale of Online Love. That's in a radio commercial in GTA. Oh, this one. This is really funny. I remember I left a comment there. I'm going to go ahead and either delete the comment from that or... I don't know if I ended up leaving a comment here or not. I suppose I didn't. Maybe I already deleted it. It's just really, really funny the way that the butler follows Laura Croft around her around her mansion. A good song would be Beastie Boys' Intergalactic, because it sounds like they say, I live in a mansion, 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 I live in a mansion. What they're actually saying is another dimension. Where's the butler at in this video? I'm not leaving this video until I see the butler. Well, there he is at the beginning. He just sort of follows her around like really slowly. Like he's not as fast. That's the butler right there. He's like, would you like to have some tea? Here he is at the very end too. I think everyone who plays this game did that. So this was one of the first games from way back in the day. Like the only way to get him to stop following her is to lock him in this thing. And it's funny, the big house with a giant sink and all this stuff. It has a sound system. I didn't even expect to. That's Lindsay Lohan on the left, and the main artwork promotion for GTA. There's a lawsuit claiming that's some of Dave Thomas, known for Wendy's restaurant. Quality is our recipe. That's one of my favorite videos. I took a lot of other ones. I don't know. That there's 89 videos on that playlist. It's supposed to be just the character, anyways. So that most of those 89 videos. Here's the song I was just talking about. Most of those videos are going to be because I saw this music video in 2016, and I thought that would be good for GTA. It has a lot of GTA 3 themes of driving a car really fast. I believe the streets of Los Angeles, and that's the name of this game. Streets of LA. I have the map up there. So why did I even? Is this like a 30-minute video, and that was just supposed to be an introduction? Do I have the whole thing? Can I see what? I don't know. Is it working? Because I can't see this. Is it only showing the browser or something? And then this over here is something I saw in a magazine for a cruise ship ad. So I'm going to close all this out, I think. See if I wrapped up all these notes over here. Okay. And then I pulled up this other video because, oh, now I remember. Because I show some of my heritage in this video, and my cousin 5 times removed. Here's so what I can do is I know how to.
I think it just ends there. I have to be on a different website.
Founding of Massachusetts Bay Colony
site is
in 1630. up to Henry David Thoreau, who's my cousin 5 times removed. Here's the family that we share. That's just sort of like the proof or whatever. I'm going to close out everything else. Okay, and so I was going to try to do in the video game map editor. I was going to try to edit some maps. Recently, some news that we saw online. The same guys who like to talk about this stuff with the game engine. I should have taken a note of what the company was. We were talking about GTA 5 or GTA 4 map and San Andreas. San Andreas, is it like an overlay or something like that? This is just in the last couple of weeks. This has become news. I think news is what I'm looking for. No. So the channel, I can remember the channel because I just watched this video recently. It was nice to find this channel, that there were other people who would be interested in like GTA trivia type stuff. Is this right? I think this is right. One of his recent videos, he shows the early map design over here. So here's one of the original. That's from an article. I used to have video game magazines. I was never really that into those. So here's when they were designing GTA 5 in Los Angeles and Los Santos, like the map up here, streets of LA. This was the first drawing showing some of the boroughs. That's New Jersey, and that's New York City over here. Brooklyn, Queens, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New Jersey, Buffalo, Syracuse. And so the big theme of my videos, if you look at the background, is going to be the San Andreas map. It's going to be a square. And what I mentioned just a few days before this video was uploaded was that even though the map in GTA 5 I'm going to do GTA 5 verse San Andreas map. One is circular and one is square. So, just mentioned, in GTA 5 the map is circular and in San Andreas is square. And what I realized from my very recent video in a different map editor, this is one of the more advanced map editors, even though the map editor itself is square, it's still possible to make a circular map. And that's just one of the notes that I mentioned in one of my recent videos. I mean very recent. If I pull up my library, it would show that. Anyways, so this part right here is called the Backo Beyond, and I think it relates to, like I'm talking about here, Walden, who's related to Henry David Thoreau. So I'm going to search Walden over here. Maple? No. Walden Pond map. And what's interesting is one of these maps that I found, there's Walden Pond itself. This one right here has earliest known map depicting Thoreau's Walden Pond. Can I zoom in that? Does that work? Is that as much as it's going to zoom in? Okay, so it says Thoreau all over this place. There's something called Andreas Pond, I didn't even know. So here's the person who wrote that, or who drew the map. It's sort of hard to see what's happening here, especially because the controls are all messed up. here's Walden Pond itself. And Thoreau's name is all over this map. A lot of the earliest historical things, Battle of Concord, this whole map is interesting. So what I want to do is, I'm going to zoom back out to 100%, and I want to try to recreate this. So there's Lexington Road, Thoreau Street, he has his own street, Walden Street, Cambridge, Turnpike, Concord Turnpike, great. And so I could just start with those, and even have the Boston and Maine Railroad over here. And the river. Sudbury? I just want to see how that's spelled, because if I don't learn it right away. So that's the river. Red Bridge. Concord Academy. I can't get to what I'm trying to see here. Did I spell that right? Sudbury? It's sideways and everything. So there's supposed to be Thoreau all over this. It's sort of like Where's Waldo, even though it's Walden. And his name, there's Henry David Thoreau born here at his birthplace. Ralph Waldo Emerson is what this pond is named after. Thoreau playing his flute to the perch. Thoreau's cabin. So that's all interesting. So what I want to try to do is recreate that in a video game. But also this one here. This is how they, at least one person originally wanted, what I argue is the Back O Beyond over here, this part right here by Brooklyn. Even in the video that I have on my Facebook right now, I think Back O Beyond, that's the exact spelling. I don't have to put GTA into the keyboards or any keywords or anything. The Back O Beyond is so well known, it's going to be the first results. And what I argue is that its origin is the map that I was just showing. I was just showing that map of the Back O Beyond, or whatever, and it's this Walden Pond right here. It's the same thing in my opinion. With the pond being kind of hard to see, but it's like right here. There's a pond there with a cabin and everything. Even though it doesn't technically say Thoreau lives here or anything like that. Thoreau did one of his earliest Harvard attendance. Here's something called Back O Beyond Harvard Investments. Here's the pond itself. That tree, it is possible to run and climb up that tree. And that's interesting because in San Andreas there's 0 ladders. Even though this map is massive, it was massive at the time, it's still massive. There's still unexplored areas. Over 15 years since this game's release. Here's, the little cabin, the Back O Beyond house, like Thoreau's cabin. There's still unexplored areas. I really hope this video doesn't crash and I lose everything. So it's been almost an hour. Wow. And yes, that is my real hair. That I have like a small comb here that I'm not wearing a hat like in most of my other videos. I am wearing a Scotland shirt. It does fit me better than any other shirt that I think I've ever had. I think it's from Scotland. The shirt is at least. Okay, so I'm going to get out of that because it keeps hijacking my mouse. This map here, this is how GTA 5 map was supposed to look, or GTA 4 rather. And instead of that, it just ended up being this extremely purple part without that little Bronx section. But we can see how it clearly is what I've argued, that this beach right here ultimately becomes Vespucci Beach in GTA 5. So what we see here in the barely see it in the background is GTA 3.3, aka San Andreas. And then this one drawn is the early concept art for GTA 4. And eventually in GTA 5 we have Vespucci Beach, Vespucci Canals, and I argue that it was originally from GTA 3.3 with this, it's called Santa Monica Beach or something like that. but here where Coney Island is, that's the same location in GTA 4 of a very similar looking beach to both Santa Monica and Vespucci Beach, and whatever the corresponding GTAs. There's so many. There's so much. It's hard to talk about. So I would have definitely liked to check out Buffalo, second largest city in New York State. What else? What was so interesting is the Back of Beyond is right here on this, overlaid over this. And so there is something significant about Back of Beyond. It's not just me that knows about it either. Here's the official San Andreas map. Here's the beach I was mentioning. Here would be Dimitri's house in GTA 4, even though this is GTA 3.3. So I want to try to recreate at least something here. A lot of interesting stuff in this video. Here's the actual map itself. There's still more from this video related to what I'm talking about right now.
Oh.
That's just flying around in GTA or whatever. So the first part about it, the first part of this is I'm showing one side of my family, and then the second part is finding out about my father's not missing, but uncle. I suppose I could just run through that since I'm here. James Vincent Petrino, that is the name of not only my uncle, my dad's older brother, son of Carl Petrino, born in 1925 in Cuyahoga County, Ohio. But his father's name was James Vincent. And James Vincent's father, as we see, my grandfather was the son of James Petrino, son of Carmelo, and that was his mother. And this Rosina Macri, who was my father's mother, my grandfather's mother, and that is his sister. I meant to find the picture. We have a picture of her. She passed away. She was born in 1927. She passed away in 1941, the beginning of World War II, and we have a picture of her on her deathbed, actually. Very sad. And Joseph Petrino, that's one of my dad's uncles, and there's also another one, and those are featured on my Facebook. Anyways, so Rosina Rosa Macri. So if I take her last name right there, and I search Antonio, so Macri is the name. So if I search Antonio Macri, like Antonio, Montana, same initials. And you know what? If I search Tony Montana logo, there's one that looks like New York Yankees logo. So that looks like the New York Yankees logo. So the same initials. His name is actually Antonio, the character in the movie. It's not Tony. That's his nickname. But if I search over here, so here is the character, fictional character. But here is someone in my family tree. The last name I just showed how. I search Wikipedia. Uncle Tony right here. Uncle Tony. I don't know how to pronounce that. He's most well known for being similar to Franz Ferdinand. Franz Ferdinand, 100 years ago, or in modern times, Christopher Wallace and Tupac Shakur combined. Franz Ferdinand he's known as the most direct person who, millions upon millions of people lost their life in the First World War. And he is considered the most immediate, quote-unquote, most immediate cause of millions of people losing their life. But that's kind of like medieval, like old, like Dark Ages type stuff. But in the modern era, we have my uncle Tony, who, after he lost his life, the person who shot him, he was shot in Sedona. The person who shot him not only shot him, but he also shot these other 300 people. And that's on Wikipedia. So this man, Francesco, no. So we don't know who shot him, similar to Christopher Wallace and Tupac Shakur. So let me go ahead and just escape out of that. So what I'm going to try to do is recreate, after all this, I don't know how my computer's running, I can check on it, see how it's doing over here, performance. I wish I had a gauge, like an oil gauge on a car. It doesn't. So it should be over in about 15 minutes. If the whole thing doesn't crash, I should probably start a new video just in case, to sort of save all the talking I just did. So, we're going to create Concord would be a heck of a lot easier than anything else, really, in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that out. Mostly, though, I'm trying to do it from via memory. So, just very quickly, though, I could take something like this. You know what? I just had an idea of, there's a song called Message from James Dean. Song, 1950s. It's not its authorized official title, it's just like a slang title. It's Bill Hayes' Message from James Dean. And so, James Dean was a well-known actor in the golden era of Hollywood. Hollywood. And Hollywood's on this map over there above me. And the other one is like a Russian mansion or something. I think it's St. Petersburg. Okay, James Dean car crash location. He was driving a Spider car. Porsche. I don't know how to spell it. Okay. Porsche. There we go. Okay. Spider Porsche. And the key word of spider, especially because it's spelled like that, is spy. Like spy versus spy. And another thing, like I said, Antonio over here, what's interesting is Spy versus Spy Mad Magazine. And it wasn't just Mad Magazine, but other books and stuff. Original author is Antonio Prohías. And he has an interesting story, too. It's from Cuban. He immigrated. He escaped, whatchamacallit. I just found yesterday, I want to see if this is real, because I heard about it, and I'm almost certain that it is. So there's Bill Gates, and something called David S. Pumpkins. What's interesting is when the quote, if you quote that, in the sketch, in the captions, when someone says David S. Pumpkins, the captions picked up Christmas pumpkins. That's what, like, people would be hearing even if they had never heard it before. Sort of like in the Rapper's Delight song. Hank, Big Bank Hank, comma, Big Bank. Big Bank Hank quotes, he says, I am the G-R, he spells out Grandmaster Caz, even though his name is Big Bank Hank. And in Grandmaster Caz's song, MC Delight song, he says, hi, I'm rapping to the beat. Like, sort of like, hello, my name is rapping to the beat. People who've never heard English before, or they hear stuff like rapping to the beat, they're like, what does rapping to the beat mean? It's like, hi, I'm not rapping to the beat, or I'm singing to the beat, or I don't know. There's a lot of ways. Sort of like a Indian name, like hi, how are you? I'm rapping to the beat. Um, he refers to that in his song, Rapper's MC Delight. YouTube. I left a comment there saying that on this video, I think. So I called the person who runs this channel. I thought it was a female, and now I see after all this time it's not a female. My name is Sir Jams a lot, also known as Sir MCs a lot. Whatever. It says thanks for the heart. Siri loves a lot. And I thought been talking about that for 3 minutes now, almost in an hour, because there was something else built into that song. Some songs have really deep meanings, deeper meanings. If I can find the lyrics to this, MC Delight. Did I press the wrong button? So I'm trying to find, is there some way that I can watch YouTube videos without adding views, and especially on my own. YouTube without adding views, and the site. No. Okay, it's fine. The site that it recommended was something called View Pure. And so what I would do is copy the link over here, paste it in here, and then it runs its magic. It says purifies, and so I can watch it without ads and without recommended videos on the side. But what it still does is it still does add views, as far as I know. So I don't know if there's any site that doesn't add views. I'm going to have to find that. Okay, so there's still something deeper into this song. I just don't want to forget. He says, it's just the way that he says, like, I'm rapping to the beat. Like, what's your name? Oh, I'm, jams to the beat. Or I'm, plays the drums to the beat. Sort of just nonsensical stuff. And I still thought of a better reply than the one that I left over here. It looks like it says grandma. See? It says grandma up there in the tab. And that's reminiscent of, if I search Tomb Raider, the word, in the video game that I showed earlier, and Tom Raider. Like someone had said at office hours meeting a couple of weeks ago, Brittany's parents, in a southern accent. My keyboard, man. There was another. I'm trying to edit undo. Where is it? Come on, let me search it. Tomb Raider. I think I'm not even going to make an attempt to start up that map editor. It's going to crash my computer again, because I'm pretty sure it has good battery. Tom Brady. Okay. And what was I just talking about? There's something over here. Something that I mentioned in one of my videos was someone named Tom Blue, and he's son of Ben Blue. I mentioned it in one of my videos, but it looked like I was not being honest, because it didn't show it. I'm just gonna have to copy and paste with my mouse for some reason. So he's on Magicpedia. Here's Ben Blue right here. Unfortunately, we just lost Tom Blue November last year. Here he is on this. I'm gonna incognito. I don't know about these magicians. So I'm incognito mode, like I have a hat on or something. I'm actually just looking at my reflection in the surface of the computer. See? Yep. Interesting. So, that's mentioned in one of my videos. Here's, what I was talking about. References from Wikipedia compared to Magipedia. He was like the first variety show he had in the early 1950s. Very interesting, man. Okay, and then so if I search these terms over here, the same way that I just saw grandma in Grandmaster, the word, if I search that at Ingrams, if I had to guess, it's like www.books.google.com. Like, is that even a site? So, copy. I'm doing it the manual way. See, the keyboard it's going haywire again. That happened that's why the video part 1 crashed over here. Paste and go. No, it doesn't work. Oh no, so there's AT&T. Hello, AT&T. Ingrams. Copy. Select all. And selected for all. So here's Ingrams. Book viewer. Searching, random terms and stuff like that. So we can see precisely, it looks like you can see the exact moment when the world culture as a whole was confused or unconfused or something like that. So let me change the search terms to, where's the very beginning of this? 1992? We'll just say 1990. 1990 to 2019. What happened? Oh, it was my number lock. There's something wrong with the keyboard. That's completely. It's just disappearing. Oh well, it's pretty clear that the confusion happens right there. When Tomb Raider lost its popularity, highlighted in blue. Tomb Raider prepared the way for Tom Brady, and it can be seen right there. So the ultimate goal is going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and boot this up. That looks like Texas just from a glance. I'm just going to jump right into this A-Train. Oh. But after I press yes, I'm going to close that out. The notepad, that'll be okay. Let me just see what happens with the processor. Okay, so processor's at 50%. Yeah, I can watch that on a chart. I think disk 4 is where the game itself is located on the computer. Still loading. Simulation game, railroad management, urban development. I was talking about self-development earlier. I joined 4 pickup lines so I'd have something to say, so that I wouldn't be speechless. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into the map editor. This is what the game crashed earlier. So I pressed map editor. Here's starting from nothing. Let me see if I can load real quickly the only one that I've ever tried over here. There's 3 separate cities. I could make Los Santos, San Fierro, and Las Vegas. And what's clear about this is that I think it's the exact same game engine, Euphoria, or whatever it was called. What's it called? No, it's not right now. Hello, here it is. So, like every game has different controls. This one has different controls. So yeah, I can follow this train. These train stations even look similar to how they look in Los Santos and stuff like that. Oh, I forgot. I can use the radar. Lots of different things. There's stuff over here. So here would be, for example, San Fierro. Here would be, Los Santos. And here would be Las Venturas, just for example. And so here could be Walden Pond. So I can do all of this stuff, and with the map editor, I can make it myself. I can make my hometown, I can make Dallas, Fort Worth, I can make Austin, I can make New York City, I can make Buffalo and New York, I can make, Boston in Massachusetts. I can make any city, just with this map editor. So that's all for now. So I'm going to go ahead and leave. How do I go back to the main menu? I'm just going to close it out, and thank you. Okay. So is that about an hour? Yeah. Great. Did the display crash that long ago? The display crashed that long ago, and I didn't capture anything that I just talked about. That's unbelievable. So if I activate it and deactivate it, oh boy. So I just talked for an hour and none of the display captured, and that's okay. Alright, so that's the end of the video.